Eric again, welcome back. I'm going to show you some Swedish techniques on how to do the arm here. Okay, so the first thing is going to be draping. Alright, so I'm going to fold this over halfway, and I'm really just trying to fold this over until I find a forearm or an elbow, swing that out, and place that down. Okay, our first thing is going to be an arm effleurage. Starting with the shoulder, swiping down. You can do that a few times. Once you have some cream on there, I'm going to lock the hand down on the table so I can swipe up without taking the whole arm up there with me, creating a nice little pinch up there. So I want to make sure I hold that nice and depressed as I effleurage. Do that as many times as you'd like. From there, we're going to take this into stripping. So I'm going to put the hand on my side, facing my body away from the client. From here now, I'm going to be pushing into the table. I want to push the forearm into the table, so that way the arm is just going into the table, and I'm not pushing, again, that shoulder up towards his ear. So I'm going to come in here, thumb fan, thumb fan, thumb fan. And then I like to hold the hand, you don't have to, as you start to strip it. You want to do 3 or 4 strips in here on the extensors. I think that's right, extensors. Then we want to do the flexors. I'm going to switch that in. I'm going to take a step out. The back of his hand just gently going to rest on my abdomen, and I can thumb fan, thumb fan, thumb fan, and then take that into strips. 3 to 4 should be good. Okay, an alternate to thumb stripping and fanning the forearm is using our eagle claw once again. We're going to use these 2 fingers, go around the wrist. If the wrist is too big, switch to another finger. That way you have a little bit more of a gap. Kissing fingers again at the thumb. This is nice because then you have the ability to rotate, supinate, or pronate the wrist as well as flex and extend. So now we would do the exact same thing with thumb fanning, and just using a little bit more pressure for stripping. Again, thumb fan, thumb fan, thumb fan, and strip. So it's nice, like I said, you can use a little bit of supination and pronation, or flexion and extension to get in here. So it gives you a little bit more control. This is a nice prelude to deep tissue work in there. Moving on, we have our biceps. Paint a little cream right onto there. Now what we want to do is we want to be in between, have our body in between the body we're working on and the arm that we're about to strip. The palm, I need the palm to be facing me the whole time, so slightly pronated. I don't want the palm supinating. If it supinates, it's going to disengage the bicep, making this strip of the bicep much more difficult. So I really need this facing me. Even this, that probably still looks like it's facing me, that is not going to work. I really need it more pronated as much as possible. Okay, I'm going to use this forearm as a guide, swiping down the forearm, not putting any pressure in the elbow, but as I start to scoop out of the elbow, I can start to apply pressure, and I'm going to extend the arm. You can continue to pronate the palm even more if you'd like. You don't have to. Swipe around the shoulder and come back. You want to be getting in between the 2 heads of the bicep. What you don't want to be doing is pushing the bicep so the bicep is out of the way. You also don't want to be coming and pulling the bicep back so it's back here. You really want to make sure you get in between the 2 heads of the bicep as we swipe, swipe, swipe. And that's a really nice way to get the bicep in there. Okay. From here, I have a nice little traction right here. I'm pulling, so there's traction on the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. I'm going to shunt that now at the elbow. Swing this back. I'm going to grab his little fingers so that way it's grabbing the table right in there. Guys don't really have an issue with this, but as you work with girls, you want to make sure that the armpit is covered. Girls have some kind of issue with their armpit being exposed. Doesn't matter if they've shaved it or not. They're just very conscientious. So just always make sure you cover it. It will help them to relax. All right, guys, really don't care. Now we're going to get the tricep. The tricep, I'm pinning his hand down with my anterior thigh. I can come right in here and start to thumb fan, thumb fan, thumb fan the triceps. When I'm done thumb fanning and warming them up, I can, if I want to, I can pull back on the arm underneath, grip it as I push. If you don't want to, you can use kissing thumbs and we can strip the tricep. When we strip the tricep, we want to get 3 strips in here, one that's medial, one that's intermedial, and one that's lateral. That's going to do it for our triceps. Next we have the deltoid. The deltoid, we are going to do what I call reverse milking. So I'm reverse milking, and then I'm going to strip. When I strip, I'm going to use my fingers right in here, and I'm going to strip back, and I'm actually going to be arching back, so I'm using more body mechanic than I am muscle. I'm going to start at the acromion process of the scapula, and I'm going to strip all the way to the deltoid tuberosity, which is the insertion. So I'm grabbing that. I want to make sure my thumbs come around, wrap around. I don't want my hands tucked away where you can't see them. Make sure you wrap them around. That'll give you more pressure. And then I can strip, and we can do that a few times. And again, I'm just leaning back to get that strip right in there. Okay, from here, to grab this down, bring the arm down. Now, assuming this was the other arm I just did, we could then finish it. If the hand was here, bring it down, across. There's a nice little effect. I can pull here, so I'm pulling it across towards his pocket. I'm not pulling it across his chest like I'm trying to strangle him. I don't want to do that. I want to bring it across. I can bring it into his pocket. I can lift up. And with one hand here, I'm going to come across his back. The other is going to reach down as far as it's comfortable. I'm just using fingertips, and that feels really nice on the back. The more you hug them into you, the easier it will be. The more you let them kind of hang here, the more you have to arch your body over, the more strenuous it'll be on your back. So the more you hug them in, the easier this will be. And this is a very nice way to get the back. And you just let them fall back down. And that is going to be the arms. Thank you for joining us.